Social media platforms and internet services are engineered from the ground up to harvest as much personal data as possible. Every click, scroll, hover, like, comment, and even the time you pause on a post is tracked. Sensors in mobile apps record location data to within 10 feet or so. Microphone access can infer when you're in a conversation, and camera permissions sometimes activate without granting them explicit approval. This isn't accidental. The core business model of companies like Meta, Google, TikTok, Snapchat, and countless smaller players is surveillance advertising. Got that? You are being surveilled. Surveillance is used for protection and investigation. The corporations are protecting themselves by investigating you. They offer free services in exchange for the legal right to monitor almost everything you do online and today, even offline. Once collected, the raw data is enriched and transformed into hundreds or thousands of data points on you, and a profile about you is created. These data points include demographic details, inferred political leanings, sexual orientation, religious beliefs, health conditions, such as pregnancy predictions made infamous by Target's algorithm. They know your financial status, relationship status, mental stability, and even predictive scores for how likely you are to buy certain products or vote a certain way. They know everything, and it's all determined by how an algorithm is designed. Companies maintain permanent profiles that follow you across all devices and websites through cookies, device fingerprinting, and hidden tracker pixels that are embedded in nearly every site that you visit. These profiles are then sold, often in real time, on advertising exchanges. That's why you are searching Amazon for something, and an advertisement pops up on the TV for the same products you are looking at. When you visit a web page or open an app on your phone or iPad, an automated auction for your data starts in just milliseconds. Advertisers bid on the right to show you an ad based on how valuable your profile is to them. For example, a 35-year-old woman whose data indicates she's newly pregnant will fetch a much higher price to Procter & Gamble, who makes Pampers, than it would for a random visitor. Then there's data brokers such as Axiom, Oracle, Experian, and LiveRamp, who collect or aggregate your information from hundreds of sources, like store loyalty cards, public records, magazine subscriptions, app usage, games, you name it. Then they sell even more detailed dossiers to anyone willing to pay, including insurers, employers, lenders, and political campaigns. The consequences of this digital system are severe and well documented. The 2018 Cambridge Analytica scandal revealed how Facebook data on 87 million users was harvested without consent and weaponized for micro-targeted political propaganda during the 2016 U.S. election and the Brexit referendum. On an individual level, pervasive data collection enables stalking, doxing, and identity theft. In 2021, the personal information of about 530 million Facebook users, like phone numbers, birth dates, email, and physical addresses, was leaked and remains freely available on hacking forums. Doesn't that make you feel safe? Victims of domestic abuse have also been tracked through location data that's sold by brokers. So they are selling your location, guys. Journalists and activists have been targeted after advertisers or governments purchase their data. I wonder where they get the protesters they pay. Financial discrimination is another dark result. Insurers and lenders quietly buy your data to adjust your premiums or even deny you coverage based on your shopping habits. Are you getting this? If you purchase plus-size clothing, unhealthy foods, or Depends, they know and they raise your rates based on your lifestyle and habits. This is crazy. Job applicants have been rejected because recruiters purchased background reports containing social media posts from years ago. And, in case you don't know, there's something called the Wayback Machine online. You can actually go back in time and capture content that has long since been deleted. In China, the government's social credit system openly incorporates commercial data purchases to punish or reward citizens, which is kinda what insurance companies are doing. Mental health has suffered on a societal scale. Social media platforms use the same detailed behavioral profiles to maximize time on site by feeding addictive, outrage-inducing content. So, those memes that really tick you off may actually be a honey trap to see how you respond. Internal documents from Facebook, the Facebook files, showed the company knew Instagram was aggravating body image issues and suicidal ideation among teenage girls, yet prioritized growth over mitigation because the data told them controversy and comparison kept the users scrolling. This is really hard to believe, but empathy for mankind has no place in most businesses today. Finally, the erosion of privacy has become so complete that most people no longer believe they have any. When citizens assume total surveillance is inevitable, they accept manipulation as normal. This practice undermines free society more subtly, but no less profoundly, than overt state censorship. In short, the internet has extracted and commercialized human life and turned it into data. The convenience of free services has been exchanged for a hidden cost. Manipulation, discrimination, political destabilization, and the quiet death of personal autonomy. About 70% of employers now check candidates' social media and online presence before making a hiring decision. Some industries like tech are pushing past 80%. That quick Google search of your name or a $40 background report can pull up an old tweet, a tagged party photo, or a forgotten Reddit comment and kill your chances of getting a job in minutes. The good news is that recruiters rarely dig past the first 2 or 3 pages of results, so you don't need to erase 15 years of internet history. You just need to push the risky stuff out of sight fast. Start with immediate lockdown and removal. Google your name in quotes plus your city, phone number, and old usernames on both Google and Bing. Delete or privatize every old account you can, Reddit alts, Tumblr, Instagram backups, forums, etc., and use Facebook's Limit Past Posts tool in one click. Then opt out of the major people search sites like Spokeo, Intelius, Been Verified, My Life, White Pages, Fast People Search, True People Search, and PeakU. Hitting the top 10 to 15 manually, or using a free trial of Delete Me or Incogni, which removes 95% of the dossier sites that recruiters actually buy. Do this in a single weekend and most of the low-hanging fruit disappears. Next, flood the first 2 pages of Google with boring professional signals that belong to you. Claim your name on LinkedIn, even a minimal profile. Buyyourname.com for $12 and put up a 1-page bio, and create bare-bones public profiles on sites that Google trusts. They include About.me, GitHub, Goodreads, Quora, and Crunchbase. These pages rocket to the top within days or weeks and shove the old embarrassing results to page 5 or lower, where literally no recruiter looks. Maintain it with almost zero effort afterwards. Set a Google alert for your name in quotes. Resubmit people search opt-outs every 6 months, or you can pay $8 to $12 a month for an automated service. And from now on, use throwaway emails and private profiles for anything non-professional. Do the heavy lifting one time over a couple of weeks, and you'll drop off most employers' radar for anything except the polished presence you control. Then begin using a VPN, or be mindful when you post on social media. Today that's as clean as it gets, but it can be very effective. For insurance, they already know how many bowel movements you have if you told your doctor. If you are posting about your arthritis, alcoholism, or personal conflicts with others, then you want your profile to show someone that's making an effort to become healthy. We can beat them at their game, but only to a point, because there's multiple hospital and physician records, so there's no lying about that. But if you've got pictures of you stuffing McDonald's into your pie hole every day, you might want to get rid of them and post a photo of a healthy, mostly vegetarian meal. I say that because both health and life insurers tend to favor vegetarian dietary patterns because they correlate with lower long-term health risks. Take that for what you will. It's your health. At least show that you are trying to get healthy because you can bet that they know the benefits of lifestyle changes. Cut back on the hate, bigotry, and meltdowns. It might mean nothing now, but students should remember this in 4 years when they try to get a job. So govern yourselves accordingly, guys. We need to start seeing some memes about this and start educating people, because we are heading to the movie 1984. If you've never seen it, the setting is a dystopian world of surveillance. I'd recommend that everyone see it if you can, because that's where we are heading to, if we don't stop this madness. Remember, guys, when we surrender our privacy to corporate surveillance, we don't trade data for convenience. We trade freedom for manipulation. Privacy isn't taken. It's given away, one click at a time, to corporations that profit from knowing you better than you know yourself.